Hello there, everybody who watches What Culture Wrestling. Your girlfriend's favorite YouTuber here, back again for our most bankable source of pre-pay-per-view hits, Last Minute Rumours. Now you did, didn't you? You wondered, you let your mind run away with yourself, and you wondered when would the moment come when AEW finally landed in the spotlight of the pro wrestling world. When would we be able to certifiably say they were a heavyweight contender against the likes of WWE? Do some people think that maybe it would come when they finally got to TV and we saw their ratings? Some people said it already happened when they sold out all of these events, but not you. Not you, you're smarter than that. You know that that moment comes right goddamn now because they're getting their own episode of this show. Yeah, just all kind of joking aside, although I'm only half joking when I say that. Here we are, AEW All Out, the biggest show they've ever done since the last biggest show they've ever done. The tickets have sold out super quick. The card is absolutely stacked, even though John Moxley's had to pull out of it. We are all super pumped, super excited to see what comes next. And just all crack to one side, they are on a level with WWE now when it comes to the hype surrounding their events. Yes, I know, there's no TV deal yet. They don't make anywhere near as much money. It's all smaller scale. You can't really compare them, but if you're going off what people are saying, if you're going off all the talk, all the chatter, all the speculation, the reports, everything, they are being taken as seriously as their competitors in Stamford, Connecticut. Thus, it is worth my time and yours to do this video. And what better measure of success could there possibly be? None. So you should know the drill completely by now. My name is Adam Clery. This is the Wrestling Rumours Advisory Board, and these are all the last-minute rumours for AEW All Out you need to know. Let's do it. Number 9, the tickets. All right, this one is like proper playground rumour stuff because it'll never, ever be corroborated, and even if it is, it'll never, ever not be denied by those involved. But the story goes, according to some people on Reddit, that Tony Khan hoovered up thousands of tickets for this show on day one and then immediately started selling them on the secondary market. Apparently. What? Why would you buy tickets to your own show, I hear you ask? Is he Mo from that episode of The Simpsons where he just wanted a nice big secluded space for him and his squeeze at the time to get some privacy from all the weirdo wrestling fans he would otherwise have to sit next to? No. Nothing to do with that at all. This is a tactic that live events companies occasionally do. Basically, you hoover up loads of the tickets right at the very start, so the show sells out very quickly. That gets you a lot of press attention. It looks very good. It makes those tickets look like they're in hot demand. And then you just put them on the secondary market where people can still buy them if they want to. The show looks very exciting, so people will want to buy them, but they're going to do so at 2 to 5 to 10, 100 times the initial retail value. If you don't think this actually happens, then lol, bless, aren't you so naive? Metallica literally got stung for doing this, or their management did, or something like that, when loads of tickets for their tour went immediately onto the secondary market, and it turned out that the company that were organising the tour just put them on there deliberately to sell them for a higher rate and to make stuff sell out. So this stuff does happen. Now, I will say again, reiterate categorically, there is nothing at all, zero zilch, that says Tony Khan has actually done this. It's just, when you look at the evidence, and I have looked at the evidence, went straight on StubHub, and lo and behold, loads of tickets for this show, all at highly marked up prices. He wouldn't be the first businessman to think about doing this. So you put 2 and 2 together, and you don't get 4, all right? If Tony Khan's lawyers are watching, you don't get 4. You get a number that looks a bit like 4. You get like an A. You get one of those A's.
That's dumb.
Who wants to see my Shane McMahon impression? What time does the match start? What do you mean it's the other rich bloke's son?
Fairly certain that scalpers just want to make money off a popular wrestling show, you deranged idiots.
Number 8, Rey Phoenix. Yeah, slight worry this one, although it hasn't graduated from mildly worrying stage to rampant speculation stage yet, just that Rey Phoenix was apparently working hurt on his last couple of shows. He was getting carried, not doing too many spots, and might have been nursing a bit of an injury. Yes, as he likes to do, Big Banter Uncle Dave has kept us up to date with this one and said that Phoenix, scheduled to team with brother Pentagon Jr. in a ladder match for the AAA tag team titles against the Young Bucks, was injured. Very eloquent there, Dave. Phoenix and Pentagon were in a tag team match against Juventud Guerrera and Teddy Hart in Pawtucket, Connecticut. Pawtucket. If you're from Pawtucket, let us know in the comments. He was throwing a super kick and thought he had a tear, and they went right to the finish, and he was helped out of the arena. That is deeply concerning. Story then goes that he worked the next night and then another show, but did almost nothing in those matches, as if he was nursing an injury. Now, we know that Jon Moxley has had to pull out with an injury, and they were quite upfront. They announced that straight away. So either Phoenix is fine and there's going to be no problem, or he's not fine and they think they can get him through the match, or it's a surprise. He's not playing. Now, option 1 is good. I hope he's not injured. But option 2, that they would just somehow carry him through the match, is a bit of a head scratcher. Because I just want to remind you here, Phoenix is in the AAA World Tag Team Championship ladder match against the Young Bucks. You can't really carry someone through a ladder match against the Young Bucks. The expectation, the excitement, the spectacle, the creativity, the brutality of that match should be off the charts. So you can't really hobble through it, so here's hoping he's fine.
He wears a mask, just swap him for someone else. It's dead easy, watch.
I think I want a shag fair. Nah, he'll be fine. He'll be like a phoenix from the flames. Ooh.
Nah, he's always injured. He's crazier than Jerry Lawler is for a big pair of tits.
Number 7, Jon Moxley stuns Omega. Yeah, this one sucked, didn't it? Despite not being the main event of this show, Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega was definitely the biggest match on that card. It was the one, remember, when he stood atop those chips after he chucked Kenny Omega off? That was the defining image of pro wrestling in a summer that had loads of defining images of it. He'd thrown off the shackles of Dean Ambrose. He'd walked right into the lair of the competition and he'd beaten up the best pro wrestler on the planet. It doesn't think any better than that. But then sad news followed. He got an ASMR thing in his elbow, didn't he? A staph infection. He had to pull out, and he had to do the statement going, I'm really gutted about pulling out. And it was like, oh no, but then they replaced him with Pac, so it wasn't really the end of the world. But then Kenny Omega kept the story alive, didn't he? Didn't move on, because on Being the Elite, he didn't talk about Pac at all. They didn't really focus on any kind of rivalry, any kind of feud between those two. Instead, he just shot on Mox. Yeah, everybody feels so sorry for you. Oh, you've come out of WWE, got your little wish list. Got to go to Japan, got to be in a tournament, got to do a hardcore match, got to beat up me, and then they've kept that going. So why? So why would you do that? Well, the answer is very simple, because they want to reschedule this match as soon as humanly possible. They don't want the heat to die out from this rivalry. It's going to go straight to TV when that happens, probably going to be on the next pay-per-view, whenever that's announced. More on that later. So what they do is they keep the angle going, they keep the story going. They have Moxley attack Omega at the show. You can't wrestle, but you don't need to be able to wrestle to twat someone with a chair, do you? Or just do something in that vein. So maybe expect to see him on the show. Don't get your hopes up if he's not. It's not going to be the end of the world or anything like that, but could be.
But he's got a hurty elbow! No, seriously, cancel StarCast and then still show up in Chicago, that's harsh.
Dean Ambrose leaving WWE is oh no. Vince Russo ruined that for everyone, didn't he?
Nah, he's got a staph infection. Oh, sorry, that's Triple H. A staph infection. Staph infection.
Number 6, Michael Nakazawa. I haven't actually got anything for Michael Nakazawa. Someone's just written Michael Nakazawa on my script over and over and over and over again. So I don't know what's.
Michael Nakazawa.
What he's doing?
Michael Nakazawa.
What he's doing?
Michael Nakazawa.
What he's doing?
What he's doing?
Number 5, the Women's Battle Royal. At the time of me writing the article for this and then adapting the script for the purposes of a video and then recording the video, so literally this very second as it existed for me, not when it exists for you whenever you're watching this, I'm getting off topic here, the AEW Casino Royale Battle Royale with cheese for the women's #1 contendership spot, whatever the hell they're calling it, has 10 confirmed competitors here. Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Ali, Brandy Rhodes, Teal Piper, Eva Lise, Jazz, Big Swole, Sadie Gibbs, and Awesome Kong. That leaves a whopping 11 competitors still to be unveiled either on the night or, knowing my luck, right after this video is recorded. And the thing is, given that the company has only had a grand total of, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women's matches in its entire history of a handful of shows, pretty much anybody who comes along here is going to be a surprise because they haven't got like this massive, big, really deep women's roster to draw upon. They're going to have to get lots of guests in, lots of one-off spots. One person we definitely expect to get announced before the show starts at some point is Bea Priestley, because AEW thought she was going to be working Stardom on this date, but she is now free of that booking and she is signed to AEW, so she will almost certainly be in that. Now, it's not a surprise if she's contracted already, but given that she's not announced and most people don't keep up with the contract situations, she will be a bit of a shock. Other names on the rumour mill include the likes of Tessa Blanchard and Tenille Dashwood, who now, yes, they have just both signed full-time to Impact, and that should rule them out of this, because if you remember, they wanted Brian Cage in the men's version of this, but Impact were like, nah, he's ours, you can't have him, so that should rule them out. But there is increasing talk of increasing displeasure with the contract situation with Impact. They all want to be able to work AEW if called upon, and they might not re-sign for Impact if that's going to be an obstruction to them. So it would benefit Impact to allow two of its stars to go and do this, and thus the rumour is that they will be there in some capacity. I mean, it would make a lot of sense for Tessa, personally, given how involved in the whole Cody, Shawn story, her dad's legacy is and stuff like that. But yeah, they might be there. Also, Priscilla Kelly, who, and this still pains me to this day, I did a really, really good interview with her in New York, and the sound didn't work on the recording, so we had to bin it, but it was really good. We talked about the thing.
Well, yeah, clearly that's kind of how these things work. People show up, they're surprises. It's kind of part of the fun. Idiot.
I hear Santino Morella's free. After all, you've signed the rest of WWE's cast-offs.
Yeah, cool. They can just get Asuka. Vince will think it's Gail Kim.
Number 4, the next show gets unveiled. As the TV deal gets nearer and nearer, AEW starts to feel realer and realer, and thus we're going to eventually get this big schedule of weekly broadcasts building to semi-regular big pay-per-view events. That is a thing that's going to happen very, very soon, but right now, the only confirmed thing for AEW that we definitely know is going to be happening after this show is Chris Jericho's cruise, the gnarly thing part 2, and that's in January. But again, according to Uncle Dave at the Wrestling Observer, that is going to change at this show, because in amongst everything else, they're going to be unveiling when their next pay-per-view is. Now, just before I read this out, he is actually talking about Moxley's injury here, so the first whole part of this quote is about that, just in case you were wondering why he's talking about a pay-per-view being injured. That would make any sense, would it? So this is about Moxley, but just wait till the end. The end's good. The 4-week timetable means he is expected to be ready for the first TV in Washington, D.C. The company will do Omega versus Moxley soon, but it's not clear whether that would be at an early TV show or the fall pay-per-view, which should be announced on Saturday night in November on the 8th of the 31st. Which I think, just reading through all the Meltzer in that, I think he means, the 8th of the 31st is Saturday on the American calendar, isn't it? So, yeah, November. Makes sense that a fall pay-per-view would be sort of 2 months after this one, which was in itself 2 months after Double or Nothing, so you can sort of see a regular schedule appearing there. So, yes, expect to hear news of that.
Well, let's see, they've had All In, All Out, All Shake It All About. You do the hokey cokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about.
All in, all out. What next? All shake it all about.
Shocker here.
Shocker.
WWE will counter-program this, guaranteed. We've already had Smackville. What about Rawhio?
Number 3, there will be blood. Yeah, Cody Rhodes' match at Double or Nothing against his brother was a great visceral spectacle with blood, and his decision to have Shawn Spears hit him over the head with a chair as part of the build-up to this match was shocking with blood. And when asked by production, I don't know, whoever, to go on Twitter and hype up this match for the weekend, he did so with, just, I hope it's there, literally just blood. Look, it's a big talking point, this at present. Vince McMahon had a very deliberate dig at them with the whole none of that gory crap comment in that recent phone interview, so it is kind of on the table. But Cody seems to think that in order to bleed for this industry and bleed for this company, he needs to literally do loads of bleeding, so expect, oh God. Have they called it a blood feud yet? I think they have called it a blood feud, and yeah, it's a feud that's going to have a lot of blood, so if you're a bit squeamish, maybe put the kettle on for this match.
What was that Tony Khan quote? Oh yeah, no, defiantly no. So yeah, probably.
I drink your milkshake. And by that I mean there's going to be blood pissing everywhere.
There'll be an ejection of fluid, but it'll be at the commentary desk during the Women's Casino Battle Royal.
Number 2, Hangman turns heel. Yeah, no question about this whatsoever. The main event of this pay-per-view has been, and I guess still is, a bit of a problem. Like, Chris Jericho was a smart business decision to be in this main event. He was less interesting than Omega from a wrestling perspective, but he was a smart business decision. He will reel in a lot of casual fans. But Hangman Page was the one they wanted to anoint as their star. It's all well and good having former WWE stars or big New Japan stars, but you need to start making your own, and having this babyface champion who you've elevated to this level for the first time in his career really is a great decision. Or rather it is, until the crowd outright rejects him as the babyface champion you're trying to anoint. And as well with everything else that's going on this card, the ladder matches, the multi-man matches, the battle royal, the blood, the gore, everything else, there's no way this is going to do anything other than just underwhelm slightly. The smoke and mirrors they will have to use to get through this match will long since have already been done. That's a line direct from Michael Sidgwick's article. Thought it was very, very nice. So it was a problem. It's an underwhelming main event to crown their first ever champion, and you can't really have that, especially going into TV. You need to give people a reason to want to watch Hangman Page as the champion. And thus, if you've been tuning into Being the Elite recently, you will notice that the kind of promos he is cutting on that are those of a man who is toying with a heel turn. He has to do everything. He will do whatever it takes to beat Chris Jericho. Not the valiant, heartfelt John Cena type who's gonna give it his all. God damn it, he's gonna do whatever it takes. And thus, if he turns heel, possibly by lashing out at the Bucks or Kenny or his friends in the process, then yeah, that's captivating television. That's more interesting than what we're currently being presented with. I will give them that.
They're all fans too, just like us. That's what they want you to think.
I'd say there's no chance of that happening. Oh!
Punch a horse, work for the tune.
And number 1, yes, I could not answer. I'm going to answer. Hello?
Oh, how you doing? It's me, Louis Scoops.
Hi, Louis. How you doing?
Heard you was doing another one of your little videos. So, let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about Hangman Page.
Louis, I'll stop you there, mate. Do always appreciate these calls. Love the scoops. They're great. But I have literally just finished the Hangman Page heel turn thing, so I'm ahead of you this week. I've already got it. Thank you very much.
Well, don't sweat it, baby. Don't sweat it. Because Louis here to tell you exactly how it's going down.
Okay.
I've been talking to my sources, and holy cannoli, Mick Foley. Let's run through it. Main event, Hangman Page, Chris Jericho. It's going well. They're stealing each other's finishing moves, and Y2J, he goes for the pin after the rite of passage. He's gonna do it! No, it's Tony Khan. Sweet Tony Bay, baby. The Sugar Man is here. And Page wins the belt with his help, turning heel in the process. And afterwards, the whole world is in shock. Hangman Page shaking hands with the devil. He sold his soul to win the gold.
So Page and Tony Khan in some kind of unholy, power figure, alliance thing.
You heard it here first, baby. Remember, only Louis got the scoops.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Louis. I'll pass it on to the boys and see what they say.
All right. Take it easy.
Take it easy. Okay, bye, mate. But he's gone. He's number 1, CM Punk. What a journey you and I have been on with all of this. Remember when I started doing these videos on the YouTube channel when I cried because I wasn't getting my own regular series and this is what they gave me? I did this gag every single episode, didn't I? For the first 5 or 6, I would do a CM Punk entry and be like, haha, lol, no, just kidding, he's not really on this one, because I thought it was funny, because we always talk about CM Punk coming back. But here we are, number 1, CM Punk, and I mean that as sincerely as I possibly can. Now, yes, I did it on the Double or Nothing video when I was talking to my close in real life personal friend Alicia Atu, and the Blue Meanie and whoever else was on that one, but I didn't really think it was going to happen. None of us did. It was just because it was AEW and it came in doing the rounds, and he might, you never know, but we didn't actually think the groundwork was there or that he was interested or he'd even be in attendance, anything like that. But this time, the groundwork does feel like it's been laid. You do sort of think he would be interested in it, and he is definitely going to be in attendance. If CM Punk is ever going to return to professional wrestling, the last big pay-per-view before they move to television for a promotion run by people he likes in his hometown. Just to do all the housekeeping on this rumour, because I have toyed with it so many times, there's nothing yet to say substantially that this is being talked about as happening. There are no lock-solid CM Punk is definitely returning to wrestling rumours, but hear me out. If he was going to, God, you'd keep it quiet, wouldn't you? Because if you ruin that surprise, you ruin the biggest pop in professional wrestling this decade, this generation, this lifetime. Maybe you would definitely keep that a secret, so the fact you haven't heard about it, to me, doesn't really change anything. But that's... I'm just going to get rid of the script for this bit. I just really want CM Punk to come back. I think wrestling needs that right now. I think the hope we have for this promotion and how we think it's going to fix everything, whether you're a WWE fan and you're never going to watch this, or whether you're a massive AEW fan, you're never going to watch either of them, pro wrestling will be better if CM Punk comes back. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? A guy who's not going on TV.
Yep, it's definitely going to happen. And you hear that? That's thousands of marks jizzing with excitement. And I'm one of them. Ugh.
If you're looking for a comeback, nerds, you're better off scraping your socks.
So there you have it. Those are all the last minute rumours that I read on the internet in various different locations. Put them in an article which you can read on whatculture.com right now, then adapted into a script and recorded in front of this camera as a video to go on YouTube for you to watch with your eyes. God, I did that in one take. Unbelievable. Let me know what you made of it all in the comments below, as well as any of your own. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I've been Adam Clery. Join me, Jules and Phil on our live stream. Not for this show, admittedly, we're just doing NXT UK, but whatever, it'll be fun. And I'll see you soon. Oh, we are doing a stream for this, though. It's just, we're going home, because I like my bed. I'll watch it in the morning. It's my life. Goodbye.